afternoon. Leaders of 6 House of Representatives political parties expressed their willingness to reallocate confidential and intelligence funds to security agencies responsible for intelligence and surveillance activities within the West Philippine Sea. This comes after the Chinese Coast Guard installed a floating barrier in Scarborough Shoal, which the Philippine Coast Guard has subsequently removed. In a joint statement on Wednesday, the lawmakers say they decided to reallocate confidential and intelligence funds to the PCG, the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, the National Security Council, and the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. According to the lawmakers, these agencies are better positioned to counteract security threats, protect our territorial waters, and secure the rights and access of Filipino fishermen to traditional fishing ground. The lawmakers who signed the joint statement are Rizal 1st District Representative Michael John Duavit, Surigao del Sur 2nd District Representative Johnny Pimentel, Romblon Lone District Representative Eliandro Madrona, Agusan del Norte 1st District Representative Jose Aquino II, BHW Party List Representative Angelica Natasha Co, and Camarines Sur 2nd District Representative Luis Raymond Villafuerte. The proposed 5.768 trillion peso national budget of 2024 contains 10.14 billion pesos in confidential and intelligence funds. Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri says the Senate will also reallocate intelligence, confidential, and unnecessary funds from various agencies to the Philippine Coast Guard and the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Zubiri makes the pronouncement after the Congress's lower chamber earlier pledged to reallocate such funds to agencies amid threats in the West Philippine Sea. In a message to reporters, Zubiri says the Senate will be reallocating funds they feel are not necessary for the use of certain agencies and allocate them to our intelligence community. When asked if it will include the controversial confidential funds from the Office of the Vice President and the Department of Education, Zubiri responds that all agencies will be reviewed. This comes after China installed a floating barrier in Scarborough Shoal in an attempt to block the intrusion of Philippine vessels. The PCG has since removed the floating barrier upon the order of President Bongbong Marcos. President Bongbong Marcos rejects a proposal to reduce tariffs on imported rice. In a statement on Tuesday, Marcos says it is not the right time to lower tariffs since the prices of rice in the global market are projected to go down. He explains that tariffs are generally lowered when prices are going up. The decision was made in consultation with the economic managers, namely officials from the Department of Finance, Department of Budget and Management, and National Development Economic Authority. DBM and NEDA had previously sought to suspend rice tariffs in a bid to control the high prices of rice in the country. If it had pushed through, special taxes imposed on imported rice would have been reduced or removed. The government-mandated price cap on rice is still in effect in order to control rampant increase in the cost of this commodity. Office for Transportation Security Administrator Mau Aplasca tenders his resignation in the wake of several reported cases of theft at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Aplasca's resignation on Tuesday comes after Speaker Martin Romualdez on Monday issued an ultimatum for him to resign right before the House of Representatives tackles the OTS's proposed budget, or he will personally block it. In a letter addressed to President Bongbong Marcos and sent through Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista, Aplasca officially submits courtesy resignation. Aplasca says he considers his resignation a noble undertaking for a greater interest. However, Aplasca maintains he had done nothing wrong as OTS chief and that all he did was wage an honest campaign against corruption in all our airports nationwide. Prior to Aplasca's resignation, the OTS faced criticism anew from both the public and several lawmakers after an OTS personnel allegedly stole and swallowed $300 from a departing passenger at Naia Terminal 1 on September 8. Meanwhile, in a radio interview on Wednesday, Aplasca laments how the agency was already so close to addressing corruption and theft problems at Naia, saying he can't understand Romualdez's call for him to resign. Aplasca then says he leaves it up to the President or Transportation Secretary Bautista on who his replacement will be, stressing that the problem in OTS is systemic and cultural. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Reallocation of Senate and House of Representatives to reallocate confidential and intelligence funds to security agencies following threats in the West Philippine Sea. Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro refutes China's claim that the Philippines is provoking trouble in Scarborough Shoal. And Office for Transportation Security Administrator Aplasca resigns in the wake of reported cases of theft at Naia. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.